AI Bros again. So, what's been happening? What we're doing?
Yeah, this week's been loads of releases, across the different AI platforms. But one thing in particular I'm really quite excited about, yeah, excited,
Ooh.
is it's a new tool that is within ChatGPT. Let me just share my screen and I'll show you what it is. Okay, have you got my screen up now?
Yeah.
All right then. Okay.
Well, I've got all the screen up. Hang on. I'll have to trim it. Just hang on. Don't want the fucking full thing up, do we? Don't want your top bits up. Right, go.
So anyway, yeah, when we first run this, I think OpenAI had some issues because it was just trying to set up the environment. It wasn't actually doing what it wanted to do. So what we're trying to do is use it to do some agentic search to try and find out, in this instance, how bands can get noticed
That's the
and
one.
see what it'll do.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've just put, how do music bands get noticed? What tricks and techniques do they use? Output 10 tips that successful bands use. Is anything else you want me to get it to do?
No, I think that should do because if we go back to what I saw an artist trying to get a deal with a record company or promoter, and he said unless they've got 50,000 followers, they're not interested, no matter how good the music is. So that's what this is about. So there must be things that other bands that are doing that get them successful. So what are they? And let's see.
So what we can do is we'll press go. Let's see if it doesn't crash on us today. So it's thinking. It normally has to set up its desktop. Where it stops in the past is it's setting up desktops and gone no further.
Yeah.
But this time, yeah, you see it's gone through.
Maybe
So
it was just
base,
overloaded. Maybe a lot of people using it because it could happen, couldn't
yeah,
it? Do you know what I'm saying? So you can see where it's going through there, and it's that sort of searching blogs, websites, YouTube.
this is exactly what it's doing. It's going through everything. Just scroll back up without giving you a headache. So it said before, I've missed it now. It basically said what sources it was going to use.
Yeah,
So it's going out now. It's all opening different articles. This one sound Brenner article. It's going through it, and what it'll do, it'll keep going. It'll be opening tabs. It'll be browsing the internet, and you've got to watch it really fast to see what's happening. So, like saying, it's in reading mode. So it's going through it all. It's telling you what it's reading and then how it's analyzing it. Here's another article it's going through. 7 top marketing strategies for musicians.
yeah.
It's saying there now, it happens so fast, what it's doing, how it's getting the information, and what it's doing with it.
Wow.
So it's saying, I'll scroll further down the page to uncover more insights.
Yeah, you do that. Don't tell me, just do it. But it's good. At least you know it's doing something rather than it being. This is good because rather than just being a swirling thing with your, like the AI pods we did last week, you can't really tell. It just gives you a time frame. But at least this, and I think that's what frustrates a lot of people with technology. If they can see some progress, they're a lot happier, aren't they? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Because you can see what it's doing. It's interesting. Wow. Music production. It's got going all over the place, isn't it? Right,
So,
right. So it's working away, working away. It's got all it was. Wow. Is this? Is
oh,
this?
here we go.
Is that just an art? Is this the thing it's done now?
Yeah, here are the top 10 proven techniques then. So let's just scroll down, just make sure. Yeah, okay. So we don't want to read into everyone, but here are top 10 proven techniques that successful bands use to get noticed. Each tip includes supporting evidence from music promotion experts and industry guides. So build a strong online hub and website. It then goes into it and basically gives you where it's actually got the citations from, so you can go back and check it, which is quite useful, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's talking about know your audiences and use analytics. What else? Focus on unique music and strong visual branding. So it's talking about using the importance of using high quality profile pictures and album covers,
Yeah.
rather than something that's drawn on the back of a fag packet,
Yeah.
engaging authentically on social media.
And I keep saying that, banging on to people. It's about keeping it real because that's where people can. That's brilliant. I'm glad it's come back with that.
Yeah, and it also talks about tailoring it to each platform because, as we know, um, TikTok is different than YouTube, than Instagram in terms of what they expect, what the audience expects, and what the platform
Yeah.
expects, and what works well there. Um, Produce and share video content, which I know you're always telling me about. It still remains a powerful discovery tool.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
There's also others. I won't read everything out for them; it'll bore them. But
I like this
play
next
live
one.
shows and networks
Yeah,
with other
I
musicians.
like
So
that.
basically, yeah, you're piggybacking on the back of them.
Yeah.
Collaborate and cross promote. So yeah, you use other people's audiences. Um, what else? Pitch to blogs, playlists, and press.
Bang on. Because also with this, your reach, especially with AI searches now, I did a video today about bands. It's about touch points. So you need to be on blogs, interviews, podcasts, anything really, because then when someone goes to search for you or someone's looking for someone, they're gonna find you. Great.
Yeah, I mean, there just you saying word again about piggy banking, but basically creative marketing strategies. What else to say? Bands you sound like. So basically, yeah, covering them. So like a lot do that. And so you're covering someone else, and you're using their success then to try and rub off on yourselves, especially if you're an up and coming band. Build a support team and treat your career as a long-term business. Yeah, rather than just this. It's a quick in and out. You've got to be
Mm.
there, prepared to go for the long haul, really. So that was it. So you see how it worked.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
It totally
Brilliant.
went away, controlled itself, built its environment, and searched it all. Now that was quite a simple. I say simple in terms of the prompt for it. That could have been more elaborate. I could have said to it and then bring it back into a downloadable format, put it into tables, do X, Y, Z, show me pictures, and it would have gone away and just kept on working and working,
Yeah, I
and then
like it.
come back.
I like it.
So
So,
you,
so the difference for the layman and people like me, because you're the techie guy, I try and apply these things. So
yeah.
I would go, well, why can't I just use ChatGPT and put that prompt in? Aren't I going to get the same thing? What's the answer to that?
Well, not at all because of it uses. It's sort of like a breadcrumb. When it goes through it, it finds the article, then reads the article, and then pings off and does something else. So each time, it's it it's not just going out there and finding Wikipedia or finding Google and just bringing back the whatever it says there.
Yeah.
It's actually going into the articles. It's summarizing the articles and bringing out that information. So
So,
ChatGPT
so
will take you so far, but this is more advanced. It's a proper agent. It's going
yeah,
out and work. It's in a way, it's working out what it needs to do. On that instance, you could just use ChatGPT. It wouldn't be as in depth
yeah.
unless you prompt it really
I,
well.
I,
But you could have gone, I want you to go here, then go there, then do this, if you know
yeah.
what I mean. So it's a whole workflow that the thing can do.
So,
And
so,
there are other models out there that can do things as well. We'll talk about them at the next one.
mm.
In fact, we'll put a little snippet out of one that another Chinese model was released a couple of weeks ago, and that's got a really good agentic search function as well. And we'll do a little clip about that as well, I think.
So for me, and to make it as simple as possible, and this is how I'm understanding it, you use Chat GPT at the minute compared to this is just like it's a bit like doing a Google search, but it's more advanced than Google, where it will go away and it would have brought you 10 things back without any. It just decides what it wants to do, so it's almost like a search engine, an advanced search engine.
Yeah,
Whereas this is almost like me turning around to my producer and saying, "Okay, Janice, can you go away and compile me a list of the top 10 things? I want you to go and check blogs, articles, look for all rather." And then she'd go away and do that. And then basically, that's what this is, isn't it? So it's like having a researcher rather than a search engine. I like it.
yeah. It basically takes the think part of it. So in the past, it was just basically what's the next what's the next word or letter to come.
Yeah,
It's just going through that. Then it became you can see them on some of the models where they will have a thinking time. So they'll go and they'll sort of put that information in front of you and show that it's thinking. And if you really watch it, if you read it, sometimes it helps you when you're trying to solve a problem. You think, oh, it thinks this. Actually, it's wrong. It's not what I meant.
Yeah.
A lot of models hide that. It just does it
So
in the
so
background, but some don't do it.
close that down now and get us on screen unless you're going to do something else.
Oh yeah, I was. I'm going to show you something else now because I
All right.
mentioned it, so I might as well pull it across. So this here is GLM 4.5.
Right.
Now this was
What's GLM?
it's the name of it, and
Okay.
basically they call it ZAI, but it's GLM. It's just a language. I think something language model. The company's met to come up with that name anyway, so it's 4.5. You know, a little bit like you've got the other names of large language models. You know, you've got OpenAI, but you've got ChatGPT. Within that, you've got O3. You've got other models within that you can use. You've got Claude, Gemini, etc. But within this, it's called itself GLM 4.5, and it's open source as well. There are other different models within that, but it is quite a powerful tool. Now I don't know 'cause I've never tried it yet. Let's see what happens if it will do a similar sort of thing. Um,
Did it straight away?
see, it's not as comprehensive. See what it does.
Let me see some.
So it's not as comprehensive, but it did it blinking well quickly.
That's fast. That.
Um, and what it's not doing here is it's probably the actual way it's been built or trained. It's got loads and loads of touch points of data. So it will have drawn on that to produce this answer. Whereas what happened before with the agent mode on ChatGPT was it went out and searched, so it searched the internet, so it'd be more up to date as well. Um, so this one did it really quickly. This is free at the moment as well.
Yeah.
Um, but you know, you've got some decent stuff there. I still think the looking at it, I think the agent mode on ChatGPT was more comprehensive, but
Yeah.
it still gives you a pretty good thing. It still talks about develop a unique sound and image, strong online presence, play live strategically. So it's got some
Yeah.
different nuances to it. Networking relentlessly, professional quality recordings. The other one was talking about professional quality images and
Yeah.
videos. It's talking about streaming platforms, engage with fans, which the other one mentioned, media coverage, data and analytics, persist and adapt. So some of those headings you could change to sort of like, treat it as a career, etc. But it's come up with different things.
Yeah.
It's also missing out some of the things
But similar. I mean, and I think if I was going into a deeper dive with it, there is, I think it's great having all those points and do this, do that, do the other. Yeah, whatever it's telling you to do. But what it might need is, so if I'm a band and it says, oh, network more, what does that mean? Does it mean I should be going to one network meeting a week or a year or one a night or what do you know what I'm saying? So that's how I'd go back into it and go, all right then, how much should I be posting on social media? Which is the best social media platform for bands? Is it TikTok or Instagram? Because it depends how your age of your demographics of your band, the people you're interested in. So if you're interested in people at 40 to 60 as being your audience, then
Mhm.
there's probably little point going on TikTok as much as Facebook. So if I'm on Facebook, I look at my analytics on Facebook, my audience of 8,000, 8,500 people, when I put posts out of 45 to 65 generally, and generally male. So that's who
Yeah,
I'm appealing to. So what I could do potentially is, if I wanted to, the way I could increase that then potentially is, all right then, that's what the men like and at that age. So if the ones that are lacking, which is probably females and younger, how do I get them in? What is it's missing for that? So that's what I'd probably look at and ask it the question. Do you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's right. I think you can. We did that as a quick one, but I think that, like with all prompts, the more detail you got, or you tell it exactly what you're looking for, then
yeah.
because bands will read that and it's very general in it. Have better images. What does that mean? I know there's probably more detail in there. We could also have better sound quality. What? So I think you'd go back into that then and go, okay, what does this mean? How do I get better sound quality? So for bands, which ones you're going to focus on. And you could also do the Pareto principle. There's 10 things there. There might be, out of that list of 10, there's probably two that are the most important to focus on for growth. They'll give you the biggest growth, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
it doesn't, for example, just thinking out loud, is yes, if you had great imagery, which is there, actually, but that's no good if you're not networking for people to, or you're not posting on social media. So you could have the best
yeah,
sound and the best, and this is what I'm trying to say to bands. You could have the best sounding track in the world and the best visuals, but you need to grow your audience base for them to make sense for it to go even further. It's almost like that is a given and expected, isn't it? It's a bit like going out for a meal. You don't expect restaurants to put on, we didn't food poison anyone today. Well, we take it as a given. You shouldn't be food poisoning anyone. So, no, brilliant. I love it, and I'm hoping that for this instance, for bands, and you can use this for other tools, that people take notice and understand how to grow and how to do different things. But
yeah.
the options are immense for that, aren't they? Absolutely immense.
Yeah, and I think one of you mentioned it there. I think going forward, we touched on it last week, but didn't really cover it in full length. What I was saying, prompt engineering, you might just say asking the right questions, but prompt engineering is a skill that people are going to really need to hone and develop. Because when I did the example there with ChatGPT, if we would have thought about the actual prompt better, could have said list 10, but also give us a 10-point strategy on each one what to do.
Yeah,
So it could have gone further down that field, or which ones should we focus, put them in order priority. Give me give me a checklist or to-do list for the next 5 days, 10 days. So you could really get into that and also say, ignore stuff from like 5 years ago. I'm not interested because things have changed.
yeah,
So the prompt engineering, you can use a large language model such as ChatGPT or another one to actually help you with that question. So personally, I'd use an LM to actually really hone down on what I wanted, then go into the agentic search because you only get so many, and then really push on what you want. That way, you can get best bang for your buck. Otherwise,
yeah,
it's doing an agentic search, come back, oh, you've used one of your tokens, one of your credits, and you soon use them. So it's about working smarter
yeah.
rather than harder as
No,
well, but really utilizing the LLMs.
and I'm glad we've done it that way, because if we'd have had a really massive prompt and all ins and outs, but this is what we're trying to do, is to demonstrate to people. So straight away it comes back and goes, oh, that's not quite right. So I'm glad we've done that. We could, if we wanted to, we won't do it, but if we wanted to, we could go in and really critique that. Maybe we'll do that in a future video and go, right, this is what we've done now, and it's basically telling you what to do, how many times to post. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
So we're the whole purpose of this channel and what we're doing is we're learning and applying things that we've learned and getting other people to apply the learnings as well. So it's great. If it was all finished and all puck and we just say, oh, type this in, well,
Yeah.
it just demonstrates whatever you're trying
Uh,
to search, whether it's a business, whatever it is, you get understand first what you want, what you're trying
yeah.
to achieve, because otherwise, and I've seen it so many times when I used to work in business. People go and say, "Oh, can you go and do X, Y, and Z?" Yeah, and they don't go into the detail what they want. Then the person spends a lot of time and effort, genuinely puts their heart and soul into it. Comes back and they go, "Well, that's not what I wanted. Well, that's
Yeah.
what you asked for." So we,
Totally. So I think, when there's too much, there's a lot of blurb in there. There's a lot of different words that people use, but it's just being smart. Like you say, you consider it like you've got an employee there, you've got an employee, a researcher, or whatever it may be, and you'd give them a proper briefing. It's no point, like you say, going off, coming back, going off, coming back. It's just a waste of time.
yeah, I know, isn't it?
And if we would have done the bigger search, one of the reasons for not doing it and putting more context to it, it's going to take longer. Now, because it's going to have to go and do all those things, and we're trying to demonstrate it here. You saw it on the GLM. That was quite quick, but it wasn't as he thought about it. He didn't just spiel it off, but he didn't go out and do that research. There's probably other elements of that. You can do it. I mean, I've not even signed in on that one. It's just purely just purely straight from the browser.
Yeah,
And I'm sure there's more involved. You can probably go and get it through a web search, etc. But these models, these agentic models, They like it because they're agents. So you could,
Ah, right. Okay.
and that's where it comes from. And they're like, imagine agent. You could call them, a researcher, but they're a little agent. So, some tools for doing are better at doing certain things, and certain of these large language models can actually pick from them as well and go, actually, I want to use this one because the model's been generated based on loads of information, but you still won't beat something that's been specifically made for it. So, for example, if you're dealing with, say, litigation, well, if you look at DeepSeek, Grok, etc., they'll be able to answer you on litigation. But if you get a large language model and you really, really go to town on feeding it that information, it's going to beat them hands down.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, that last model I showed at GLM, its ratings were really, really good. They sort of do charts and compare them against all the different models. Its percentile of success and speed, it was very, very high, up to 90 odd percent. It's very, very high for
Yeah.
such a new free model. So things like that, I like to use a few. I like to use a whole host of different things, not just stick to ChatGPT. But you'll get used to using what you get used to and know its nuances and its quirks. And some of that makes time easier for you because you're not thinking, well, why has it come back with the wrong answer? But as we move on, we're still in 2025, and already this year we've had a host of new models that have coming
It's
out, a
crazy.
host of upgrades. You'll see them that they're like now. It's like it's controlling your computer. It's building its own little desktop within itself, and it's doing all these things. And going forward, that's what will happen. You'll be watching it. It'll be opening up browsers. It'll be taking screenshots, and some of them can already do this. It'll be actually doing your workflow for you. You can just sit back and watch it. So, very interesting times, pretty scary times as well. But you've got to be on it. Got to get on
Yeah.
that wave before it
Yeah, because
smashes into
you'll
you.
get left behind, whether it's a business, a band, or whatever it is, or a person. You'll get left behind if you don't. You need to understand it. You can't. We've opened Pandora's box now. We're not putting it back. We're not closing it again. Can't put it back in. So you need to be aware of it. That's a brilliant demonstration, our kid. I love that. Brilliant.
All right. Well, Ali, I know you got a lot on today, so have I. And
Yeah.
I'll speak to you again.
Well, what we could do before we go, we need to talk. We need to think of people think of a subject for next time. If there's something you want to know about AI models, what it is, or you keep hearing a buzzword like agentic, that is a brilliant explanation, by the way. It's an agent, so it's called agentic. Ask the question, drop it in the comments, or send us a message and say, "Oh, can you cover this?" and "What would you do for this?" that sort of thing. But we're always trying to think of what's next and how we can apply it. Warren does all the technical things. I'd look to see how Warren can apply it as well, but I look to see how I can play it in the things that I do, so we all benefit. That's the basic of it. But this has been AI Bros. Please subscribe, like, and share it with someone that needs it. But yeah.